And welcome to Jams and Cocktails Live. I am your host, Brad Brock, and tonight we're joined in the legendary J&C Lounge by our very special guest singer-songwriter J.J. Rivera.
Good evening, everybody. Happy to be here, Brad. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. We also got Joe Bacon in the house. Nope, I'm wrong camera. There he is. Joe Bacon in the house. And we got Danny Couto. Is that how you pronounce it? Danny Couto?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right, you guys. And filling in for Jordyn, Derek, and Ellie tonight, the man, the myth, the legend, the Kevin McLoughlin. You're filling a lot of shoes tonight, Kev.
I know. No wonder my feet are all feeling weird.
It is a wonder. Awesome. You guys, this evening we're going to get to know the boys in the band and their new musical projects. We're going to put JJ on the hot seat inside of the Lipton Tea interview. I know. They've all done it. Except for Danny. You might get away with it. We're going to play a round of Name That Tune. That's what we're doing. A round of Name That Tune with all of you out there in Radio Land. And I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in live with us and catching the show later on. I thank those of you that are doing that as well. Wherever you're tuning in, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow, like, and share on social media. That would be wonderful for you to do. We're also watching the chats and comments. So I'm watching the chats and comments. So feel free to chime in. If the spirit moves you, join our conversation. And I guess, as tradition states, we should kick things off with our shot of the week. Finally. Shots. Everybody. All right. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it on the first try. Chichaito.
You got it.
Yay! Chichaito is our shot of the week. This is from what I understand, this is a specialty in Puerto Rico, which is a wonderful site. We're going to get into that because I used to visit Puerto Rico every week of my life for years, and I didn't get out much because I didn't have a whole lot of time, but I was there every week. So we'll talk about it. But Chichaito, this is actually a spin on the traditional recipe for it. This was from a bartender there, a local that likes to add a splash of honey and lemon juice. So it's very easy to make. It's a part of Bacardi rum or any white rum that satisfies your taste buds. And anise liqueur, which is anything like absinthe, or which we're not doing, or sambuca, or something like that, in that family of liqueurs. And then, as mentioned, a splash of honey and lemon juice. You shake it nice, you strain it to a shot glass, and here we go. I'm going to uncover Kevin's face there because now he's here with us. And cheers, gentlemen, for being here tonight, and cheers to all of you tuning in live with us.
Cheers.
Love ya.
Thank you.
Salud.
I appreciate the nod to my homeland.
That's not terrible.
No.
That's actually really nice.
No, might need to try that again.
Maybe a few times.
You can definitely taste the anise in there.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And the sambuca.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing, bro.
It's okay. It's all good.
Maybe next one we will use absinthe.
you know, I've had a couple comments because we've talked about it on the show before. Somebody wants me to get the whole contraption to do the whole drippy thing, and I might have to make a trip to New Orleans to Pirate Alley and grab one of those things. They have a great little bar there. There's no electricity in the bar. It's all candlelit, and it's an absinthe bar.
Which is that? The Gemini? Which bar? Do you remember the name?
I don't remember the name.
I think I've been to that bar.
But yeah, there's no lights. It's all candlelit. Yeah, it's super cool. So I'll invite you guys back for that night, and we can chase the green fairy together. Better than chasing the dragon. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for Thursday nights.
That's for Thursday nights. Join us each week for our shot of the week or cocktail of the week by visiting jnclive.tv. New website or new web address alert there, jnclive.tv. And you can go to the Shot of the Week link there and see what we're planning. Then get everything you need delivered by our friends at Drizzly. All right. Well, now that that's out of the way, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, you guys. J.J. Rivera, also known as El Brujo, is a well-known member of the Treasure Coast music scene. He's both the bassist and co-lead vocalist for the popular reggae rock band Fresh Catch, but is also a talented solo singer-songwriter with a distinct sound that blends Latin, acoustic, folk, and reggae influences together. His bilingual lyrics reflect his cultural heritage and a celebration of diversity and unity. JJ's unique sound is a fusion of different genres that is both refreshing and captivating, and you're going to hear it for yourselves, that's for sure. We're glad to have him and the boys, Joe and Danny, here in the lounge tonight. Welcome, fellas.
Thank you.
Ooh, that was a beautiful everybody at the same time. So before we dive into the interview, just give me a rundown of the relationship that the three of you guys have. How did you come to play together and become friends?
All right. So once upon a time, me and my friend Josh started a band called Fresh Catch in the Stuart, Florida. And we were about a year in when this 20-year-old kid that I really didn't know but was playing in other bands, trumpet player, shows up drunk and tells me, I need to be in your band. And that was Mr. Began over here.
Oh, how about that?
He can tell you himself that at first I wasn't really keen on the idea.
Yes, that is very true. He was the main detractor in my mission to try to join the band. And he put me on a 3-strike system. And as we've discussed before, I think within the first maybe 36 hours, there was 2 strikes. And he'd actually like write them up on the board, the marker. So every time I showed up, I would see them. But, you know, I think I did like 7 years with you guys, something like that. So
something like that.
I still haven't got that 3rd strike. Maybe tonight's the night.
I was going to say, like, you only had 2 strikes this whole time. That's pretty great.
This could be it.
Well, we discovered he's actually a very talented musician. He's actually schooled in horn playing, and he brought a really cool element to the band. As far as Danny, we met through, I think, this guy Tom Brennan that was looking for musicians on Craigslist or something like that.
God, you guys remember Craigslist?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting time to be alive.
So I knew Tom, and Danny knew Tom, and Tom kept telling me, you got to meet this drummer. And I saw him play one time. Whoa, this guy's awesome. If Fresh Catch ever needs a drummer, this is the guy that we're going to bring in. And eventually, that's what happened. Our founding drummer got too busy with work and family, and he had to step away. And lucky for us, Danny was right there. And, you know, we've been hanging out and jamming before he joined the band, and it just fit perfectly after that. And we just got along from the get-go. He's the guy that actually traveled the world playing music, but you wouldn't know it because he's a very humble and stand-up guy.
I saw Fresh Catch play. I went to see them someplace in US 1 in Stuart. And I saw them, and, you know, Nick, it was the drummer, great drummer, but they need a better drummer.
Shots fired.
I love you, Nick. But then, you know, it turned out that he had to go, you know, part ways, and And then Jose called me. He was like, "Hey man, you want to join the band?" I was like, "Yeah,
Hell yeah.
cool.
I was
Let's do it."
I was Danny's Jose because I was the guy that was like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
Yes, yeah.
Why does this guy who just got back from a world tour want to join our little podunk band playing in Port Salerno? We didn't have a strike system. Just one day I was like, ah, shit, he's pretty good. I guess he can stay.
I guess he can stay. Oh, man.
You know, I always play rock all my life, but I always had that, reggae. I always listen to reggae when I'm on tour, and I always feel, very comfortable. I listen to a lot of Brazilian, reggae bands, and then when I moved to Florida, I was like, this is my spot,
It is definitely a great spot for that whole vibe.
Yeah, and that's where I end up.
Good. Good for us, that's for sure.
Heavy metal drummer that can play the shit out of reggae.
Right. I mean, I saw a few videos of you playing, you guys playing together, not with Fresh Catch, but of you just sitting in. We watched a little clip of it off air, but the musicianship was great all around, but notably on the drums. So I'm
Thank you.
glad that you're still in the picture. Nice.
A funny thing is now with Fresh Catch, we're not officially a band, but we play if the situation's right. So now we don't have any horn players, but we got two drummers because Nick is back in the picture. And,
Yes.
So we alternate percussion and drums, and we have a very rhythmic sound.
That's very cool. Yeah, I had read that you guys had a gig that was supposed to be up at the Tuckahoe just recently, and it got
Shitty
rescheduled.
weather. I'll be plugging it shamelessly later.
Nice, awesome. So it is rescheduled because I
Yes.
didn't see any rescheduled dates. So
It was.
oh, good. We're getting an exclusive, Kevin.
Yeah, keeping it a secret until we could unveil it here.
Yes, perfect. I love it. I love it. Well, good deal. Let's dive right in, man. So, Jose, when did you get into performing? When did you realize that was something you wanted to do, and what kind of inspired you to become a musician and a songwriter altogether?
It was later in life than most people that get into it. Growing up, it really wasn't a thing. I didn't grow up playing an instrument. Growing up in Puerto Rico, music's always around, so I was always listening. Then I moved to Iowa for college.
Iowa,
out of all places. I stood out because I was exotic over there, so I had a pretty good life in Iowa, considering.
That's where he met Slipknot, guys.
I did.
Yeah.
This is
Gotta tell a Slipknot story.
mid '90s in the Des Moines area. I met some of those guys, but at the time, I went to see a band play this little cafe that was in the school, and they did kind of the 311 thing. They would mix hip hop, reggae, rock, and I'm like, these guys are pretty good. And a friend of the band said, well, they're looking for kind of a second vocalist, hype guy type person. And I'm like, well, that sounds interesting.
hype guy.
So I went and talked to them, and
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Okay.
Even though I really didn't have any prior experience or no talent, I got along with the lead singer, and all I had to do was kind of back him up. I was in shape back then, take my shirt off, jump around, play bongos a little bit, and I was part of the show, and that's how I joined the band.
Nice.
It was called Great Big Freak, and they were already pretty successful locally. We played Chicago, Kansas City, Minneapolis, all over the Midwest. The place I lived in Iowa was like 3-4 hours away from multiple cities in the Midwest, so it was a
right.
great location to do that. And I made no money, but I was about, I think, 19 when I joined that band, and after being with them for a while, I kind of started paying attention what the rest of the band was doing. This looks interesting. And I figured one day I'm going to learn to play bass because it looks easier than guitar because it only has 4 strings.
Right. The common misconception,
So I had the bass player kind of teach me a couple of things. And at the time, this is mid-90s, Sublime was huge. And I liked a lot of the Sublime stuff. And I started learning Sublime bass lines. And one time with this band, Great Big Freak, we kind of switched instruments for one song, and I got to play bass for a Sublime song. And I'm like, this is kind of cool too. So Great Big Freak broke up, and I was still interested in learning to play.
Sure.
So My first guitar, I got into this car wreck that I totaled. I flipped this Buick Skylark I had back then. And
Not the Buick.
The Buick.
No.
I swerved to miss a bird on a gravel road, and I lost control and flipped it in the ditch. But
Did the bird survive?
I have no idea, but I don't think I hit it.
Good.
But
Silver linings all around.
silver lining. But Buicks are very well made, and it had a good airbag, and I did not get hurt.
That's amazing.
No free ads, bro.
Right. So
This segment brought to you by Buick.
I got my insurance check, and I bought a piece of shit Mercury Topaz to replace the car, and I had about $500 left. I went to the music store. I bought a Yamaha Pacifica and a PV,
responsible musician.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like 100%.
and a PV amplifier. And I'm like, I'm gonna learn this shit. So, and a music book.
Gotta have the music
Gotta
book.
have the
This was the
music
90s, folks.
This was the 90s, so the book that had tablature. Because how do you get a guitar player to stop playing? You put a shard in front.
It's true. It's true.
So I started messing around with that, and I had some friends that had kind of a punk band that would play basement and kegger parties, and I started kind of jamming with them as a vocalist. And then once in a while, about 5-6 songs, they would let me play bass. So I started getting into that. But vocalist back then meant yelling and rapping.
Right.
That's what I could do at the time. Then I started going to karaoke. And I ended up every Tuesday for like 2 years. I would go to karaoke, and that's where I learned to sing. Then I figured, well, if I can kind of sing, sort of, I can kind of strum a guitar, I need to write some songs because I'm having a hard time learning other people's songs.
Right. Why not write your own?
So I started kind of doing that, and with mixed results. And I got a little Tascam 4-track, and I would make these tapes and I'd send them to my brother, and he's my harshest critic.
Really?
And he would give me unadulterated critiques on it, like, this was terrible. This part was kind of cool. Work on that, So
God love him.
I did that for a while.
His brother is still
his
like
brother.
this, by the way.
He is.
Still exactly the same.
His brother got amazing, unbelievable voice.
Yes.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
He does.
Huh.
I think his whole family came from music, right?
No, not really. My brother's just a ham, so he he'd like to perform and sing, but my parents are not. They can't play a note. They don't sing.
But he can dance.
Oh, they can dance. Everybody can dance.
So you got the rhythm there. That's intact.
Got the rhythm. So I started writing songs, terrible ones, but they were in English with really crappy lyrics. And then one day I decided, let me try to write something in Spanish. So there was a rock en español. There was a movement for rock music in the Spanish language that happened in the 90s. And I was already in the States, but my friends would send me tapes and CDs. And there were some bands that were pretty inspiring. I'm like, let me try to write some shit in Spanish. And that came out better. And, it makes sense. It's my first language.
Sure. And
I started doing that. And I did that for a couple years, but not out anywhere.
Right.
I was playing in my bedroom, trying to learn, making my little tapes. Eventually, I moved away from Iowa. I ended up in Florida in 2003. And once I got here, I didn't know anybody. So I called the music store and I asked, where are the open mic nights? And they told me about the one at the Refuge. They told me about the one at Osceola Street Cafe. And they told me about a couple others that I forgot. So I started going weekly to Osceola Street Cafe on Mondays. John Lang, he was hosting back then. Great musician. And
not to be confused with Johnny Lang.
not to be confused with Johnny Lang. So
the teenage prodigy guitarist.
Not him. So John Lang ran this open mic night, and I would go every week. I would bring my guitar. I would leave it in the car. I would watch, and I would chicken out, go home without playing. I did that for a while until one day there was this guy that was just so bad.
Gave you the confidence you needed.
That's exactly what happened. I see this guy playing. He was so bad that I thought, well, I can be better than this guy. So I went and got my guitar and signed up and played a couple of songs that night, and it wasn't great. And whoever was there will attest to that. But it got me hooked. So I started going And I mean, I went with my little Yamaha Pacifica 112 electric thing, and I plugged it into the PA because I didn't know any better. So after a while,
nice dry single coil or humbucker.
Yeah, sounded like shit, but I didn't know. I think I better get an acoustic. So I bought an acoustic Ibanez, and I started messing with that. And I just kept going. And after a while, I started getting better at it. And then I met this guy, Cody Rudlin. He used to play music around here.
Yeah, I know Cody. Yeah.
All right, so Cody showed up at 18 years old from Montgomery, Alabama, right out of high school, and he was already a complete musician. So I seen him at open mic night, and he was singing some original songs that I was humming on my way home.
Wow!
So I'm like, I gotta meet this guy. So next time
that son of a bitch has a knack, man. Not to derail it, but that Cody dude.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, all three of us have played with Cody in 3 separate bands. The guy's just immensely talented.
You got it down.
Yeah. So I started talking to Cody and say, I play a little bass. If you need a bass player, he's like, yeah, that'd be cool. So I got together with Cody, and there was this guy, Mike, that he played djembe at the drum circle in Stewart that they do at Shepherd's Park every Sunday. I don't know if they still do it, but they did back then. And we formed a little 3-piece with acoustic guitar, bass, and djembe. Eventually, the acoustic guitar turned into an electric, and the djembe turned into a drum set, and we would switch bass and guitar and lead vocals. And we had a band called Joe Michael because it was Jose, Mike, and Cody. We thought we were really clever back then.
I like that.
Tell him your album name.
It makes sense.
So then we recorded a self-made album because Cody's from Alabama, I'm from Puerto Rico. We called it Rice and Beans and Collard Greens. And we had
yes,
So good.
yeah.
That's a good one.
we had 12 original songs in there. We had a really good CD release party at the Refuge. This must have been 2005 or about there. And the whole time he was my roommate for a while, and it was just this competitive thing. If he would write a song, I would have to write one later that week. And we kept doing that, and we just
It's a great way to put a record together for sure.
So we ended up with all these songs. Eventually, Mike decided he didn't want to play anymore, and we figured the band's called Jamaica. If there's no Mike, no Maiko. So
No, Michael.
Yeah,
So
Joko was taken.
yeah. So that band broke up, and Cody started doing his solo thing back then. And I always considered myself more of a band guy then, just because I really wasn't confident in my skills, and I figured I'd be better backing somebody up. And Josh was just coming out of a band. This is Josh Holman, the other co-founder of Fresh Catch.
Fresh Catch, yeah.
Yeah. So we got together, and that's how that whole got started back in, I think, 2007.
Before we dive into Fresh Catch,
Yes.
because I have some stories about you guys that I want to share. We have
Yikes.
we got to go back because I feel like we glossed over this very, very
There's
quickly.
a lot of glossing.
But Great Big Freak
yes.
Yes.
in the mid 90s.
Yes.
Brad Brock.
So I
coming back on.
can't let you get away with you telling me that you are a hype man
Yes.
and that we don't talk further about it. So okay, Great Big Freak.
Yes.
Mid 90s. Do you remember any of the songs that you guys used to perform? Any of
I
their
remember
original
tons of songs.
What was your favorite out of all of them?
There was one called 3MFR
3MFR.
that stood for 3 Motherfuckers Representing.
Well, what about if it's 2MFR?
Oh, shit. No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
All right, so it was 2MFR when they first wrote it because it was 2 guys. Oh, man. So I was not on that album, but they put it out right when I joined the band. Oh,
I found it.
my man. I have a box of these CDs in my attic.
I found the whole album. I have the whole record.
How did you find that?
I did a little digging.
What? You have a guest house or a vacation home in Ames, Iowa? And you
How did
haven't found it? Like
That's available online? Holy shit. You blew
It's
my mind.
available
it's on
online.
his MySpace.
I listened to a few of the tracks this morning, and I was blown away. I want these guys to reunite.
I want them
and
to reunite.
and I need you to go back and be the hype man, and I will just a private concert for just me.
I'm gonna hit up. I found the lead singer. I lost track of all those guys, like 20 years ago, and I started looking for him on Facebook, and I found him. He's a home inspector in Chicago or something.
Isn't that what always happens to us?
So I hit him up and kind of reminded him of the good old days. But that guy's singing right now. His name's Tony Juarez. This Mexican American cat that could, he could rap like that, but he could sing like Freddie Mercury. One of the songs we did Under Pressure as one of the covers we would play, and the dude could sing it. He could sing Beatles, and then he could rap like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When I caught wind that this was a band in your history, I had to go and do some
How do
digging.
you find that
That's
out?
amazing. I've never heard. I've known Jose for over a decade and never once heard a lick of Great Big Freak. We've always heard of them, but never. I didn't know they recorded anything. This is fantastic. Can you share me that link?
There's one album
I will.
called Delish
thank you.
that they had in the can by the time I joined the band. There were two guys there at the time, Tony and Weege. Weege is the other voice you're hearing there, but he moved away. So, instead of having a second vocalist, they got a hype man. Because I couldn't rap like those guys.
Not with that attitude.
But I was younger and in better shape and better looking, so I could jump around. And
Did you have a flag too?
no flag. That wasn't that's the funny thing. I didn't get into reggae proper until Fresh Catch. There's the stuff that I would hear.
In fairness, that's not proper reggae.
Well, you know what.
Well, listen. So we'll I just needed to share
Well,
that
that
with you.
is
As
so
soon as you
cool,
mentioned
man.
it earlier, I was like, "Wait a minute, I have something
Dude.
queued up here."
Mind blown that you found that. 'Cause I've been looking for that stuff online for years.
Oh, well, you got the crates of the CDs.
I do, but I don't have a CD
No
player.
CD player, yeah.
Oh wow!
So, since we're there,
Yeah.
like Iowa,
Yeah.
what is the biggest city? You said Des Moines is like the biggest city. What are there? It's like 200,000 people there, or something like
About
that.
150 back then, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like half of Fort St. Lucie.
But Slipknot came out of there, and
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what the music scene's like in a city
right.
like that, because I feel like we're not dissimilar here in this area,
Yeah.
but like we're not a major city. Des Moines is like considered a big city for
Well,
Iowa.
there was
Iowa, yeah.
this club in downtown Des Moines called the Safari, and the Safari was owned by Sean Cron, number 8, the clown from Slipknot. And
No kidding.
Yeah, so that guy was just very talented at putting things together. He was a club owner, and he would get all the best acts that would go through Iowa that would play at that size of a venue. He would have them go through there. Great Big Freak opened up for Fishbone once. That was
No kidding.
killer. Yeah.
Nice.
We seen a lot of bands go through there back when you remember when big band swing was kind of big again in the
Right,
90s.
Big Bad Voodoo Daddies
Right.
and all those
So
those cats. Yeah.
There was
Brian
one called
Seltzer
the-
Orchestra.
The Atomic Fireballs played at this club. Gravity Kills, bunch of bands would go through there. But that whole time, this is 95, 96, 97. Sean was putting together Slipknot. It was a different vocalist than Corey at the time, but he was very smart about it. He would put together these crazy fucking shows that people would be talking about. They wouldn't play that often, but when they did, it always blew up. And they knew nobody was going to discover them in Iowa, so they flew in A&R people
No
to
kidding.
go see them play.
They really did it big.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they would pay for people to come see them play one of their local shows where kids are just going crazy. And at that time, I was underage at the time, but because I was in the music scene, I was allowed to go in bars. They wouldn't card me.
Right.
And so I would go to the Safari on the weeknights to go have a couple of beers and hang out. And I met Paul Gray, the bassist. And he was just a really cool guy. And it was just one night, we're sitting there. There's hardly anybody there at the bar. We shot the shed for a little bit, had a couple of beers. I went home, and a year later, they were like...
They were the
Yeah.
biggest band in the world.
Yep.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Out of Des Moines, Iowa, of all
Yep.
places, man.
I mean, there was a lot of bands and a lot of variety of sound. They were just the smartest. And there was this other band called 35-Inch Mutter that did the rap rock thing. And they were very popular. And at one point, they were probably just as popular as Slipknot was. But Sean had just a better business brain, in my opinion, and he got them to the point where they got. I heard the bass player for 35-inch Mutter made a documentary called One Clown Short of Destiny.
Yes.
Now I need to find that.
I never saw it, but
Get on
Leave it to
Brad.
me. I could find it.
Homework.
but
One
it was
clown short.
One Clown Short of Destiny.
Of Destiny.
And that was, I think, kind of explaining what the music scene was at the time and how Slipknot didn't allow others to come up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes
I don't know.
you gotta crush. Well, it's a big difference between like what we have here as a music community, and somebody was mentioning it recently that this music community is relatively supportive of each other. Like there are some people that are like no, but I think overall people really think or work together in this scene as a family unit. Not so much the case in obviously big cities. I don't think they're out there actively crushing other bands, but Des Moines, Iowa, where you do have a finite fan base, I guess you do have to annihilate the competition. I would love to see one clown short of Destiny.
if you find it, let me know because I would like to see it too.
Clearly,
I'll find it.
Yeah, you're our investigative journalist. At
Yeah,
this
I'll
point.
find it.
That's
I'm an
you.
internet sleuth, as they call it.
I think that bass player went on to be a TV director or something. I don't think he liked me very much. So, Chad Kalick, wherever you are, I respect you, man.
Yeah, cheers.
Somebody get this to him.
Yeah. So, let's move on to Fresh Catch. I had to backtrack. I had to go back there.
Dude, you got to send me that link
So
to the Great
happy
Big
you
Freak
did
stuff.
that.
I'll do it. I'll send it to you.
So happy you did.
How did you even?
I had to buy it. I had to buy the record, but I have it. So it was worth it.
The JNC petty cash.
Did you get in your account?
Dude,
Any
I don't.
royalties?
Any unauthorized charges? Don't worry about
That's
it.
why we had dinner. That's how we had dinner on the way here.
Well,
On the,
I don't even know
download
who
money.
owns the rights to
I
that
know,
because
yeah.
So Fresh Catch. Just a quick story. My first introduction to Fresh Catch was I was on one of my very first dates with my fiance at the Bail Money CD release at Pirate Cove, right? And and I had no idea who you guys were, but she loves reggae music and really want to go to the show. And I was like, all right. To be fair, I had been away for a very long time, so I had no idea that this music scene even existed when I came back from playing music on cruise ships. So I came back and found
that's how you were in PR every week.
That's right.
Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
how I was. Now you know.
Now I know.
So I came back and found this flourishing music scene in my hometown, and with like huge shows going on at weird places like Pirates Cove. And I was so impressed with you guys. Not only did you just sound amazing, and the album was killer. It was so good. And the whole stage and the lighting and the whole, I was just like, this is a real show. And there was just a sea of people. I was like, this is crazy.
We paid all those people to be there.
That's okay. Because for me as an outsider looking in, like seeing is believing, and so I just want to say that I'm honored to have you guys here, genuinely.
Oh, dude,
Thank
cheers,
because,
bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Salute.
Salute. Yeah, that show was actually, well, we rehearsed so much for that show and we put up like a lot of time in it. And
Oh yeah.
when we hit the stage, it was fire.
I'm not kidding. It was a moving show, and just the energy of the crowd that you guys had there. I still remember it. This was 8 years ago, 8 years ago now. It was when Bail Money came out. I probably still have the sticker from that show. I have a backpack that's just a collect all. So like we were actually staying there at Pirates Cove that
smart
night
move.
because
We
we were
couldn't
like,
get
we're not
rooms
going
that night.
anywhere. Yeah, it's because I had one already.
Yeah, jeez.
But so I
Brad
still
Rock
think I
Room
have
Block.
like a sticker. I probably have the record somewhere. I know we came away with a CD. So it's probably here. It's
That's
here
how
in the
we-
collection.
That's how we tricked people, because if you paid for admission, we made you take a CD. So we're just hoping that at some point it would magically slip in that CD player in the car, and then
It did. It worked for me, and I was hooked, man.
They
And-
are unlike the Great Big Freak CD. I do not have any bail money
Yeah,
CDs
no.
left.
good.
so,
That means you got rid of them all.
we got rid of them all.
I have crates of my own CDs. I'm a terrible salesman. I get CDs pressed, and I never bring a single one to any show I ever play ever.
I hear you, man.
I'm like, what's going on?
I even work at the door at that show.
Did you?
You did
Yeah.
for a minute, yeah.
I did.
Right on.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I got terribly drunk that night.
Oh,
so,
you too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't even know if the show ended. It might still be going on right now, and I would never know.
We got to get back, guys. This is a long break.
Nice, very good. So yeah, just to get back on track, I guess. Tell us a little bit about Fresh Catch, and obviously the temporary hiatus or the undisclosed hiatus. What made you guys stop? What made you bail on Fresh Catch?
See, what happened was,
What happened?
Every good story starts with that.
Nick was the first one to kind of step away out of the original core for
Thank
family.
God.
Right, and that makes sense.
Then after a while, there was some difference of opinions on some things. It's hard to keep a band going with so many members for so long.
Well, in fairness to us and the situation, it was started as 4 guys, and then it was 5, and then it was 6. At one point, we were 7, and after 10 years and families growing and careers developing,
that was the thing,
blossoming, there was.
It was like a spignut.
When you're with the same people for so long and you start to prioritize what not necessarily what matters, but what is actually important at the time, it's time to put the band on the back burner for a little bit. And it happened for us individually at different times, but I think when these guys finally said, hey, let's put her to bed for a little bit, it was about time to happen. And now they've kind of rekindled it. You go away from something that you've known for so long, you start to realize what you miss about it and start to forget the things that maybe made you want to go away.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
That's a very eloquent way to put
Big
it.
things coming from these guys.
Big things.
And it's tough, when you're so close to something, you miss the forest for the trees. It's right in front of your face, and you're like, this is too much. Rehearsals are too much. The gigs are slacking off, or the attendance isn't what it is. We can't get a tour together. All those things happen to me, to everybody. Is it's so hard to keep momentum going when you have it going. Because
the competing things.
Exactly.
Families was a big thing.
It's a huge thing.
We were. Several of us kept getting married a couple of years after
that's
each other.
We never get younger. We just keep going in perpetual motion
Then
forward.
the kids started coming, and 2018, that's when my youngest daughter was born. She's 4.5 now, so I think that
She's
Port-
4.5?
Yes. Port Salerno Seafood Festival 2018, I think that was the last one, right? That we reunited every single motherfucker that ever played
Mm-hmm.
in
My
the band.
fat ass was up there.
Yeah, so 2018, my wife would have been pregnant at the time. Then Nick already had 2 kids. Danny had 1.
2?
Well, maybe not by then. Yeah.
What? No, what?
What?
Oh, wait.
Nick already had 2 kids.
Right, and Danny had
Had
2
1.
kids as well.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
My
One
bad. I
here
forget
in
about your big
Florida.
one.
My beautiful.
I forget about your big one.
Well, the
Sorry.
one is not important, It's just
He's
something
very
happened on the way.
important, Brad Rock.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Then I have my beautiful Penelope.
Baby
That's the
Keith.
important one.
Yeah.
There's
Well, if you
clearly
ask her.
favoritism, and it's okay. You guys are. We talked a little bit about having a show on deck. It got canceled. It was at the Tuckahoe Mansion,
Yeah.
but it's been rescheduled.
It has been rescheduled.
Yeah.
Do I plug it now or
Oh, let's do it right now.
Okay.
And then we'll plug it again.
Sunday, May 7th is the rescheduled day for Fresh Catch at the what's that series called? Rocking the Mansion. I don't know. At Tuckahoe Mansion.
Music at the mansion.
Music at the Mansion.
Music at the Mansion.
Yes, we'll be doing
See,
that.
Kevin, thank you for being here, buddy.
Yes,
Yeah.
May 7th is when we're doing that.
Hopefully I'll be recovered from Cinco de Mayo
Now,
by then.
I do have to
There
say
you go.
that back in that time period, I was still a professional sound engineer, and I did sound for Fresh Catch a lot.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And, well,
we were trying to be nice.
I remember this about it. Like, I used to dread doing your shows, and here's why. Because you're a good
This is
man.
real talk now.
I think I know where this is
But you
going.
always had a ton of people. Like, there were people everywhere. Like, how, like,
On
every
top of the
time.
stage,
Yeah, they were all over the place, and they were wild and crazy, and they were spilling stuff and
spilling
tripping all-
beer
yeah,
on your
yeah.
mics.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
we paid them to be there.
So yeah, I mean, I was always impressed because like, there's not even this many people who live in the city. Like, how did they get them in the building?
We worked really hard for that, to be honest. And I think that's like the proudest thing we all took away from the experience with Fresh Catch is that we busted our ass for years. And again, full-time jobs, families, wives, kids, obligations. We were playing, at one point we were doing 3 shows a weekend. And, it was tough to not only coordinate that, make sure we were all be able to be there and then get our drunk asses there and then play well enough to get paid. But, we self-funded all of our albums, 4 of them, with just the money from shows and worked really hard to get a presence. And a lot of people are like, oh, but you're big in Martin County. Like, fuck yeah, we're big in Martin County. Work really hard for that shit, and to your point earlier, like when you show up at an album release party, an album that costs thousands of dollars, or you put blood, sweat, and tears and months of your life into, you come to the culmination show and there's hundreds, if not 1,000 people there. Like, it's pretty fucking dope. So it was.
There could have easily been 1,000 people or more. I was really, really impressed, man.
And consistently over the years at all the different venues that I did sound for you guys at, there was always a ton of people, and it's no wonder because you had a very high energy show. Like from note 1, it was just like on 11 and didn't let up the whole time.
Well, and I think, I personally, I would love to take all the credit, but a big kudos
Mr.
goes out.
Strike 2
Yeah.
over there.
Exactly. That's a good nickname. Strike 2, low and outside. But I think credit has to go to the fans as well because, we never strayed away from the fact that we're a local band, regardless of where we're playing, whether it's up north, down in the Key, whatever. We were a local band that we knew that our people took care of us, so we wanted to make sure that we always made sure they felt like they were being taken care of by us. So.
Fresh Catch was only like a local band that just play shows and went home. They actually hung out with the crowd.
Did shots
And the
with
crowd,
the crowd.
the crowd was friends too with Fresh
No
Catch.
doubt.
So it was all a big crew. That's
So
what
great.
I loved. That's what when I went to see them live, that's what I saw, and I was like,
That's why you were waiting in the wing for your chance. You were
right.
waiting. You'd be like,
Damn, man.
"Mm, Nick."
in, coach.
this is dope.
Every time Nick hooked up with a new girl, he was like, I'm waiting for that family time.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'm glad that you guys are getting back together, and that show is on the books. Hopefully, the weather for this time pans out. May 7th. We'll mention it again later on.
Yep.
But I do want to talk about your original solo stuff that you've got going on right now.
Okay.
You've got a couple new releases.
Yes.
So I want to talk quickly about your recent single, and forgive me for pronunciation because I'm
All good,
terrible, but Abuelos Ausentes.
Yes, sir.
That was very good.
Thank you. I'll take it. That jumped out to me as a very personal tune.
is.
And while I don't necessarily know the language, some things peek out at me. And so tell me a little bit about that song and
Sure.
why it appears so personal to me. How did that happen?
Well, that song came about my youngest daughter. My parents, after Hurricane Maria, they moved to Florida, and my little one was old enough that she needed to get taken care of while we were at work, me and my wife.
Sure.
So we would drop her off at my parents, and so this is the first grandkid that they actually interacted with and took care of. And I seen how my dad is with her, And it got me thinking about when I was that age, and I didn't have grandfathers growing up.
Abuelos, by the way, folks.
Means
If you
grandfathers.
if you're a gringo like me out there, it means grandfather.
Yeah.
So
Abuelos Ausentes means absent grandfathers.
makes sense.
That's what I had growing up. My two grandmothers, they were both queens, superstar women that took care of their families. But on my father's side, I've never met my grandfather. My dad only seen him once or twice in his whole life. And on my mother's side, it was really weird because he had 5 kids with my grandmother, and then he left and shacked up with another woman down the road and had 3 kids with her.
Oh no, that's in striking range. That you could send missiles from one house to the next.
So growing up, I would go to my maternal grandmother's house, and if I wanted to see my grandpa, I had to go down the road.
That's outrageous.
And, I mean, he passed away when I was young, but what I thought was normal for me growing up, when I think about it as an adult, I'm like, that was fucked up.
It's crazy.
So, but then there's the whole family secret aspect of it that nobody really talked about it. My
Sure.
father never talked about his father until recently.
Mhm.
And this is because before my paternal grandmother, both of my grandmothers have passed now. But I had my paternal grandmother, my youngest daughter's namesake, Carmen Ortiz. She came to Florida to visit some relatives, and I got to spend some time with her a few years before she passed. And she told me all these stories that my father never did. And, I understand why he never did.
Sure. But you needed to be a grown up to hear these stories.
Yes,
Sure.
I needed to be a grown up to get it. So recently, me and my dad have had some conversations about it, and I've learned a little bit more. But the song's basically about that. My grandfathers were absent, and I saw it as a family curse kind of thing that my father has broken now because of the way he is with my youngest daughter. And that's what the song's about. So it is personal, and it gets kind of deep there, and these guys helped me make it sound great.
It's really like and that is available on Spotify and the other streaming services.
Yes.
It's
Stream.
very great tune. We're talking about music,
Yeah.
but we want to listen to music, don't we?
Are you sure about that?
I am sure.
How sober are you guys?
They've been drinking beers like fish out there, you guys. So we'll see how this goes. But we're gonna send the boys back to strap on their instruments and play a tune for us.
Strap it on.
Strap it on.
Let's do it.
Well, they're heading back that way, you guys. I'd like to remind each and every one of you to smash that subscribe button on our YouTube channel and like, share, and follow us on social media. We'd appreciate that. And you can find links to all of that stuff at our new web address, jnclive.tv. We're done with comms. Comms are over. jnclive.tv. Give it up for J.J. Rivera.
Sentado en la orilla contemplando el mundo desde mi columpio, miro la ciudad, va despertando un deseo profundo, dejo de mecerme, me voy a caminar, 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 mirando de lejos agarrado al pasado y ahora cara a cara la quiero mirar. Espectadores y don demasiado y ahora de cabeza me quiero tirar. Caminar, caminar. Hit him on the riff, Joe. caminando y las sombras caminan conmigo por calles oscuras. Hay que transitar. Sé dónde estoy y me siento perdido. No sé mi destino ni cómo llegar. Caminar, caminar. Voluntar es la cosa que aún me sostiene. Sigo mi camino, no voy a perder. Sigo una luz, no sé de dónde viene. Ya sé dónde voy, hacia el amanecer. Caminar, caminar. Tiempo de enfrentarme a la vida que estoy esperando. La gloria no llega de forma sencilla, hay que irla a buscar. Sientes que te tiembla la tierra, solo son mis pasos. Todos los secretos que encierra los voy a descifrar. Caminar, 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 caminar y caminar, caminar, caminar y caminar, caminar, caminar y caminar. Hay que irla a buscar. Legado de abuelos ausentes, callado a mi generación. Secreto armado hasta los dientes, son ancla de una maldición. Por la loma va, montado a caballo, disciplina fuerte al que mire mal que lo parte un rayo. Por la calle va, todo va ignorando. 3 carajos vale, reputación embarrada en fango. 2 fantasmas van, Dios dame paciencia. Quiero liberar de ese gran pecado a mi descendencia. No voy a buscar, nada se resuelve, pero no puedo olvidar. Legado de abuelos ausentes, callado a mi generación. Secreto armado hasta los dientes, son ancla de una maldición. Pero lo que pasó, de eso ni se hable, de eso ni pregunte, pa' mantener la fachada estable. No me entiendan mal, sé que soy dichoso, con todo lo que vino me considero supersticioso. 2 fantasmas van y esto ya se quita. Lo libero del antepasado a mi carmencita. No voy a buscar, nada se resuelve, pero no puedo ignorar. Legado de abuelos ausentes, callado a mi generación. Secreto armado hasta los dientes, son ancla de una maldición.
Great job, you guys. Welcome back to Jams and Cocktails. And thank you so much for tuning in with us here. I just want to peek through our chat room here and talk to you guys because thank you so much for tuning in. Victoria Lee said, miss you all.
Hi, Victoria.
Hey.
Let's see. Paul Robertson from the Drums and Rums podcast
Hello, Paul.
said, what's up, guys?
Dude, I'm doing my best to get this guy to go on
Yeah.
your podcast.
Get Danny. Get Danny,
Drums
Paul.
and Rums. Get Danny on Drums and Rums. Sign a petition.
We're going to start one. We're going to start a petition.
There you go.
Nick Perry says, Jose, where were you when the good times were had?
We don't know that guy, but can you kick him off the chat?
Denied.
Yeah, block
Nick,
his ass.
We've had quite a bit of conversations, I imagine, about Nick tonight. Hopefully he wasn't tuning in for the whole thing.
That's a totally different Nick.
Oh.
No, that's the Nick. That's the one.
The Nick.
Brad, are you ready for Pink Whitney?
Oh, my God. Am I ready for Pink Whitney?
They bring
Pink Whitney?
Pink Whitney sponsors my second favorite podcast next to James and Cocktails, of course.
Yes, of course.
And they do a good job. And I'm sorry for derailing the whole thing, but actually I'm really not. I would love at some point to tell the story of how you and I met.
Very quickly, I could glaze over it very quickly.
Very quick.
You do that.
Back 2020 in the pandemic, we used to, when I was completely depressed and had no idea what I was doing with my life anymore, we would do these Zoom calls where we'd have these basically happy hour Zoom calls, and we'd all just get completely trashed playing bingo or whatever game somebody would come up with.
How weird was that, right?
It was just, looking back on it now, it was so great. But when I was in it, it seemed like my brain was just in shut off. So in the chat, here comes Joe Bagan. And he was always obscured by the shadows out on a balcony and always drinking Pink Whitney, and which is a pink lemonade vodka from New Amsterdam, which is a wonderful vodka that I enjoy. I also enjoy their gin too. A great company. Shout out to but I've never tried it, and so when I knew this was happening, I had to go out and get a bottle of Pink Whitney to have a communal in person because the pandemic's over, of course.
Smells like
Sure.
pink lemonade, man.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Cheers to you. Thanks for having us. buddy.
Cheers! Thanks for being here.
That is just good. It's just good.
Anything that's pink
Dangerous
and liquid
good,
has
man.
got to be wonderful.
Yeah, it's
Sneak up on ya.
that is something you could put on ice and
Oh, yeah.
sip,
Powerful.
and it'll be great.
Oh,
Can't
yeah.
smoke and drink that at the same time.
Do
Try me.
something.
It would cause an explosion.
Oh my gosh!
No, it is really good, and it is really dangerous for that reason. But it's also New Amsterdam, so it does give you a nice little. You'll remember tomorrow you drank some Pink Whitney, which is the best part.
This is one of the best days of my life. Really, I've been waiting for this for years. Thank God,
Have
it's
some
been
Pink
years.
Whitney
About
with
time. Long time coming, Brad.
Long time
From
coming.
Amsterdam?
Cheers.
No, it's not from Amsterdam. It's from New Amsterdam,
New
which,
Amsterdam.
if I'm not mistaken, the original name of the city of New York was New Amsterdam.
That is correct.
before they
New
changed it to
Amsterdam.
New York. So I'm thinking they're probably brewed in New York. But I'll look.
What do we always say on the show, Kevin? We inebriate and educate.
There it
That's-
is.
That's what we do. Now you guys learned something. The more you
Ooh,
know.
Modesto, California.
I thought I had.
No, that's totally related.
There you go.
to
That sounds like New York.
Because my wife
That's
is
a
Russian.
bit of a ways.
Oh,
So I had
where's she
Bro.
going so fast?
I had brought him.
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
so
you're not
sorry.
a dad. You can't make those jokes. Brad
I
Brock.
had to do it.
I had brought him some amazing Russian vodka.
So good.
And this is
Yeah. No, that's what I bring you.
this is good.
This is
It is
Tell,
good. It's
tell the
delicious.
people in the microphone how good you think it is. Instead
I
of
think it's great.
yeah, there you go. No, but the
It's not
beluga.
better
He's
than beluga.
no. So yes, he's right. He has a Russian
Next time
vodka.
I see you, I'll bring a beluga.
All
There
right.
it is.
All
Now we're
right.
talking.
What are you doing tomorrow? No, I'm just kidding. I'll
Well,
tell you
we're
what.
sleeping here, bro.
That,
Great.
That's
Great.
a real possibility.
Oh, it's
After
happening.
all this mixing and all this different stuff,
know.
I'm
Yeah.
halfway through a beer as well.
All right. Well, the time has come.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
It's time to put Jose on the hot seat in this rapid fire interview inspired by the late, great James Lipton. This is Inside the Lipton Tea. Isn't that better?
Whoa.
Now I feel it.
No, it's a real thing. That's really happening. Pink Whitney's catching up with me. Hello and welcome to Inside the Lipton Tea. I'm Brad Brock, playing the part of James Lipton, legendary host of Inside the Actor Studio. I'm here with singer-songwriter J.J. Rivera.
Hello.
Jose, are you ready to begin?
I'm not, but let's do it anyway.
Let's do it anyway. Jose, what is your favorite word?
Taste.
Ooh, that's a new one and a good one.
That's a good one.
What is your least favorite word?
Bunghole. If you have a barrel with a lid, the hole in there, that's actually called a bunghole. It's an actual part
Bunghole.
of a thing.
Inebriate
Also an
and
anus.
educate.
The more you know. Jose, what turns you on?
My wife.
Ooh,
Great answer.
Nice.
What turns you off?
When the cat vomits on the carpet.
Speaking of, what sound or noise do you love?
Birds.
What sound or noise do you hate?
When cats fart.
Wow. Do they
Hates
fart?
cats completely.
Yeah, no, he's a crazy cat
I
lady.
have two of them, but yeah.
I didn't even know that cats fart.
Now you do. The more you know.
Dude, this is like
It's
I'm
rapid
back.
fire, man. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, that's great.
What is your favorite curse word? In any language.
Shit.
Pescabicho.
That's
Well, now I want to know what it is.
I know. Pescabicho?
Yeah.
Pescabicho?
Well, don't say it over and over again. We're going to get busted off.
One more time, Danny.
Pescabicho.
Let's see if
Pescabicho,
the
Joe.
FCC actually listens
Joe.
to this podcast.
Pescabicho.
That's not very nice.
What does that
Shall we
mean?
continue? Oh. Cockfisherman.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, okay.
I love that. What
Which
profession?
it was actually Jose's job when I met him, but that's a different story. Continue, please.
There's good money in it.
What profession other than your own would you like to try? Not cock fisherman.
Attorney.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Inspiring, huh?
Wow.
Okay. What job would you not do under any circumstance?
Bricks.
Oh.
Oh.
I'll say teacher, but with mad respect to teachers.
Yeah. I would. You won't catch me trying to tease these little shits. Nothing.
That's
Sorry, all my students out there.
Yeah, I love that, Brad. That's the answer of a guy that also doesn't have children. Cheers to you, pal.
No children, no pets. My life is wonderful. And finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
We've been waiting for you.
Ooh,
cool.
we knew this day was coming. You did it. The cherry has popped.
Not as good as Joe's, but I hung in there.
Joe's
Mine was
is
untelevised.
Yeah,
so
no
it-
one will ever know
it
his
doesn't
answers.
exist.
So he can.
Unless
really say-
Travis, of course, kept it saved on his computer.
Right. Spoiler alert. My answer for everything was fuck. That was just everything.
It was
Very clever,
everything.
Joe.
Yes.
Favorite word.
We were very clever during the pandemic. That's for sure.
The gates will be locked for Joe. And
No, yeah,
he'll
no,
be
no.
like, "Would you let me in?"
No. I think my answer for that was like, oh, we're totally firing Fred. Like Fred made a mistake. Let you in here. You're not supposed to be here. Angel Fred is
Angel
hitting the
Fred.
road. He's out of here.
Somehow Fred did not make it into the history books.
No.
No.
He was a bad
and,
Catholic.
and for good reason. All right, you guys, let's head down to Puerto Rico in this week's round of Name That
shit.
Tune.
All right.
He answers Bad Bunny to everything.
I'm not gonna lie, there might be an answer or two here. What's worse is I tailored some of these for Jordyn, who's not joining us.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun
They're
intended.
tailored for Jordan.
Tailored for Jordan
Really?
Taylor.
Yeah, how long did it take you to come up with that one?
I didn't actually. You came up with it and just put it in my head just now.
Okay, well, don't say that ever again, please.
But Kevin, you came in my head.
Yikes! It's fucking early, bro.
I did not sign a waiver for this.
We invite all of our live viewers, if you're still out there, to play along with us in the chats and comments. We're looking for the name of the song and the name of the band or artist performing it. Tonight's category is Popular Sounds from Puerto Rico. Let's play. Why not? I feel like all of these Jordyn would ace. I feel like none of us are going to get it. Since you guys are new here, you understand, just to quickly go over the rules, there are none. But the only real rule is write your answers down on the board. We like to let our live viewers try to throw because there's a little bit of a lag. So they throw their answers in, and then I'll say, let me see what you guys got.
Do
and then
we
you can
have
show
to
them
answer in form of a question?
No, this
Shit.
isn't Jeopardy.
All right.
But we do take question marks as extra credit, even when they're not
Oh, fuck yeah.
not needed.
Let's go.
All right, here we are. First clue coming at you. By the way, these are all like top 40 pop hits of the last 10 years. Wow, Nick.
I know that.
I
one.
feel like Nick is in the room with us because he had the answer out, I think, before the clue ended.
He wrote it before the show started.
Here it is one more time. Not gonna lie, this song was gigantic. It was so big. No, that's not it. I said wait. No, actually, Nick got it, so you guys can show
Yeah.
me. What do you guys have here? It is Despacito.
Not one. Not uno.
Yeah,
Dos.
Despacito.
Despacito.
Oh, that's
Dos
hilarious.
of them.
What makes
Despacito.
But I got it though.
Dos pasitos.
Oh,
Despacito.
I give it to you.
It's because Bieber's a gringo, and he ruined that one. He didn't have the right accent.
He
for
did,
you.
but let me tell you what, that song, if like now that it hasn't been on the radio in a while, it's a banger. It's really good. Like it's
One of the
It's on the,
biggest song on what?
it is
It's on Danny's sex playlist.
Despacito by Luis Fonsi and Daddy Yankee in there too, and Justin Bieber, depending on the on that remix.
Yeah, come on. We're
That you're
going all the way up
listening
to
to.
Toronto.
All right, you guys. Next clue here on the list. Oh, that's a good one.
Do we all
They
get
call me
it, right?
Cardi, Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a.
Here it is one more time.
They call me Cardi, Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a.
Oh,
I'm not a huge fan of this chick,
Damn,
but that
what's her
song was a
name?
banger too.
I forgot her name. I know who.
I do love Bacardi rum. Bacardi rum.
Come on.
I love Bacardi rum. A Puerto Rican treasure, by the way. That was a little clue for everybody that's just there. You go. Give me the name of the song too.
Oh, the name of the song too?
Yeah. I'll play it again.
Joe knows. He listens to that shit every
They
day.
call me
It's my
Cardi,
ringtone.
Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a.
The clue is in the sample that she's using. No, not that part. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
All
the
right.
waiting that kills
he's
me.
posing. He's like he's flexing. He's got the veins coming out of his arm. He's holding it tight.
All
He's
right,
waiting
let's see
to
what you guys got. What do you have here? We love Jordyn. Yay! It is Cardi B. That is correct. And it's
got it
I
right.
like it like that.
I like
Cardi B, isn't that what they hook up to you when you get to the hospital to see how your heart is
Hey,
working?
give him the drum shot. Give him the rim shot. That was a good one. That was a good one.
Oh no, what did I do? I didn't want to do
Emergency 51,
that.
show me the Cardi B.
Nikes.
mushrooms.
Shiitake mushrooms. That's great. You broke Kevin. You
Are
broke
those
him.
mushrooms shit talking again?
You mean this
Indeed,
Cardi
sir.
B?
Yeah, that one. Yeah. You forgot the dripping part.
Oh my god.
He
Different
is
one.
quite the
I am
artist.
not responsible by what Danny draws.
That's a freeze frame of the
You know,
best
I
work
gave him a
ever.
board and I gave him a marker.
All
And
these
this is-
years-
Oh man, I'm a draw.
We thought Jose was the artist. He freehand drew the Fresh Catch logo that we used for over a decade. But
No
come to
kidding.
find out, Danny's an unbelievable artist. I can't believe you just erased that.
that
You
would have
should.
been a better logo.
That picture makes sense coming from the guy that hits stuff.
Yeah,
I have to-
Yeah, no doubt.
I have to admit,
Hey, man.
some funny guy last week or funny lady. I was getting the boards together today, and as I was going through them to pass out on the table, there was a great big wiener and balls on one of the boards that had some fluids coming out,
So you did get my message.
and and it was going towards what they wrote in Brad's face.
No doubt that was Ellie.
I took a photo. It's saved
Big
forever.
veiny triumphant
That little
bastard.
sister action.
Ellie,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh
That's-
my
that's
God.
good, Yeah,
So,
I like it.
That's
Next-
a sister thing.
next clue. Name that tune.
Yo no me sé ni su nombre, pero la quiero.
Here's that clue one more time.
Yo no me sé ni su nombre, pero la quiero.
I was putting these clues together, and I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to like have a party.
Quit trying to cheat.
Yeah, man. I thought you were gonna do rock, man.
No, man. Top 40. I can't make it easy for you.
Jose's like, I'm Puerto Rican, so Brad's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, we got a whole territory to pull from.
Ooh.
He goes, I thought we were gonna do rock. No,
No,
I can't make
senor.
it easy. I can't make it easy for you. Do you want to? I'll give you one more time. Nick
Yeah,
said
please.
Gloria
That'll help.
Estefan, and that's not right.
No way.
No, Nick.
Yo no me sé ni su nombre,
Shit.
pero la quiero.
The next one's gonna be really, really easy.
I had the same answer as Nick, so.
What do you guys got? Anybody got anything?
I got nothing.
Nothing.
JNClive.tv. That's the correct answer. Anyone can write it. What do you have there? I can't see it, Kev.
Oh, sorry.
No sé un nombre.
Bad Bunny.
I'm impressed with you.
He knows how to write down words he hears. That was
I'm
great,
impressed
Kevin.
with you. It's
Awesome.
not
Give him the
Bad
point.
Bunny, but I'm going to give you the
Give him the
point.
point.
Yeah, you gotta
Give him the
give
point,
him
give him
the
the point.
point.
It's actually La Modelo
Yeah.
by Ozuna.
Duh.
Modelo.
That
Is
you
that
are the
a beer?
one for
Kevin's
me.
answer is
That's
good.
your
And
baby mom,
Cardi
now
B.
Cardi's your wife to be.
What the hell?
Is
What's your
Ozuna
thing
not
with Cardi
cool?
B,
Mama
bud?
Della.
Ozuna was Colombian.
That's a beer from Mexico.
I think she just loves being in Puerto Rico, and who wouldn't?
She's into the Puerto Rican thing.
Hey, we'll talk about this briefly, but I almost moved to Puerto Rico. I was obsessed with Old San Juan, obsessed with it. I was looking at apartments. I had a bunch of funny money that I was ready to spend in any way possible to be not here.
The
But
Joe Began donation fund is actually still open if you still have that funny money and want to get rid of it.
good to know. All right, next clue. I hope everybody gets this one. It's an easy one. Here it is once again. This was a banger too. Paul from Drums and Rums says Menudo, and you're so close. I'm gonna
Oh,
give it to you,
dude.
Paul.
You got to give him the point for that.
Yes, it is She Bangs. She Bangs
By
Ricky-
William Hung.
By William Hung, of course.
Who was a Menudo for a few years, by the way.
Yeah.
He was.
For sure.
You got it. You
He
got
played
it.
Little Michael in Menudo.
Right.
Little Michael. That's a good one, man. That was
Not
good.
suggestive in any way.
Not in any way.
Hey, Danny, how about a refill?
It's about a gun enthusiast.
Yes, that's correct.
You're the bartender for the day, Danny. All right, one more clue for you guys. Here we go.
So good,
By the way, that was She Bangs by Ricky Martin.
There
If
must be a
you're
gong
if you're
involved.
listening along in
That was the dead
in
giveaway.
Radio Land.
She bangs.
Oh boy, I can't find mine.
she?
Is that's clearly referring to her haircut.
Yes, her bangs, her bangs.
I got bags.
I know how to use them.
Oh, Kevin, star of the show. My God.
Kevin, who first came on and was like, I just want to be in obscurity tonight. I don't want to be on the camera. I don't want to have a microphone.
No,
I'm
sir.
just going to sit alone by myself at the table.
No, sir.
He's like,
We need
nah,
more
this
Kevin.
is too
And
fun.
then we're getting ready to start the show, and he peeks his head around the corner. He's like, but if there's an empty chair.
More Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Be by myself and around the corner like a troll. I'm gonna do the sound.
Final clue, friends. Here we go. This is a great one. When this came out, it blew my mind. I didn't know what was
I'm
happening.
sure Jose.
We need name an artist. Really?
Whatever. There's no rules, man. There's no rules.
Hey, easy, buddy.
There's no rules. The rules are really for the people watching at home, in front of their children.
We are clearly exempt from rules.
Paul said that song from Fast and Furious 2.
Give him the points.
That's correct.
That is correct. Well done. Well done. Let me see what you guys got.
I like it, Paul.
It is Daddy Yankee Gasolina. What does yours say there? Hook up my damn power.
Amen, brother.
Nice. Yes.
Shout out to my roommate Jessica, who's listening.
You call her your
Jessica.
roommate?
Yeah, she might not be anymore after that.
Wow.
Thank you, roommate Jessica, for tuning in tonight.
Jessica needs a new place to live.
Good job, you guys. I'm impressed.
I appreciate your appreciation of PR, man.
Listen.
Brought your gift.
Oh, what is that? What is that?
All right.
Okay, so give us the story of
All right,
this.
so I'm regifting this. My friend Joel
Put it on the camera.
Arroyo from Quebradillas PR. He was in Florida and he brought this for me, and I figured this was a great place to share or regift.
Regift. I love that too.
So this is Pitorro, which is a Puerto Rican moonshine rum. This is actually not moonshine because it's regulated, but they like the name for it. Infused with coffee, so it's rum flavored coffee.
Oh my God.
Coffee flavored rum.
Coffee flavored
Put it up
rum.
to the camera. Put it up to the camera as they're now the new official sponsor of the Jams and Cocktails
You want to
podcast.
send us a couple of cases?
And also
We wouldn't
open
mind.
it and let's drink it.
Yeah, well, we'll.
Kevin-
When you want to drink all night long and
Kevin
nobody's
wants
going
a
to sleep.
shot. Kevin wants a shot
wants a
right
shot.
now.
I don't know if I can deal with that, but yes, I do.
Not with that attitude, Brad.
All right.
Oh, that was a well hung cork there. That whatever that was going on there.
Who's got some
I love
They
that
tried
sound
it.
of the
They tried it.
uncorking.
Yes, put it in the Pink Whitney glass.
I'll keep you up.
Such a bad idea. I'm good for bad ideas, guys, actually.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
all,
pass that around.
I'm signed up
Pass
for
that
the
around
bad
to them.
idea action.
Pass them around.
Take one down. Pass it around.
Take a bottle, drink it
Never-
down.
Not getting up in the morning.
99 bottles of coffee rum on the wall.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great shot of Joe's junk, though. If you guys are watching the
That's
show,
the junk cam.
that's the
junk cam.
that's the junk cam.
How you
There
guys
it
doing?
is.
And it's
Yeah, that lightning bolt right down to the junk.
we're not talking about boats.
Shout out to Chris Reeves for designing this shirt for me. Not a big deal.
Chris Reeves. That's a cool shirt, though. I was admiring it. I'm not gonna lie.
Shout out to Joel for hooking up the Pitorro.
Oh, this must be good because he just filled it up to the lowest line.
Yeah, no, Jose's scared of
He
shots.
filled
You
it up to
guys
the-
get half shots.
That's the
Oh my
gringo
God,
line.
it smells so good.
I know. It's
Hey.
so
Oh
good.
my!
Salud.
Yes.
Salud.
Salud, dinero y amor.
Oh, perdone, cubano. Oh, that's dangerous too.
Oh, pour another one. Ooh, now we're talking, huh?
Oh my!
Imagine that
God.
over some vanilla ice cream.
All right, so tell.
No wonder you guys party all night long.
So on that bottle, what is the what's the alcohol percentage on that?
72%.
If it's 72%, we're all dead.
Yeah, that's better than rubbing alcohol.
Yeah. I already picked out my spot. I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, right.
It's right here.
35%, 70
Okay.
proof.
70 proof. So
70
that's
proof.
like
Standard.
That's a standard for rum.
But with a lot of sugar, apparently. Woo!
Lots
That
of
is a
sugar
lot of
and
sugar.
lots of coffee.
That's delicious. Drums and
Wow.
Rums is out there watching.
Drums
Sitting
and rums.
He
Still
just
has
he asked
suddenly
he
become
literally
difficult.
just asked what's the proof on that 70 proof Paul.
Paul, if you
That's-
want Danny's number, it's 555.
Speaking of Danny, what do you have over there? Danny brought some hoochin too.
Oh shit! No, now you're in trouble.
Oh, now we're fucked.
Oh man.
What did
But
I
before
do?
he does that, I want to just shout out to Paulie for the Drums and Rums podcast. He's the first person I ever jammed with when I moved to Florida back in 2003. We had a good time. He just lived too far to make anything happen.
Yeah.
Exactly 20 years ago.
Exactly 20 years ago.
Yeah, Jose's old.
I'm old.
Yeah, we love Paul. Puts on an amazing. I'll give him a shout out again in Shameless Plugs.
Jesus.
Puts on an amazing podcast called Drums and Rums, and has just incredible guests.
We
Like-
might need
And
fresh
make some
glasses for
amazing
this.
rum drinks.
And
I
he
must
does make
say.
some good.
Where's the
One of
new
Kevin's
touch?
favorite drinks is made by Paul.
Yes.
The Tropical Depression.
Is that what it's called? I tried to recreate that. And
How much is left on the
horrifically.
schedule, Brad?
I need
'Cause
your help, Paul.
We might go long.
We're gonna black out after this shot.
We have just Shameless Plugs. That's it.
All right.
So we're good.
Fantastic.
I
Yours?
got it.
This tastes like this coffee rum. It almost has like a cotton candy aftertaste.
What's yours?
Like it's so sweet.
It's-
Yeah, but it's alcohol, so you can make a lot of bad decisions, but it's got coffee in there, so you can make them even faster.
No, but
That's
between
really
the
that's
Pink Whitney
crazy
and
good.
this, you're fucked, man.
yeah, you have a migraine. But that's
Wanna get
to
him
me
some?
that's a little smoother than that Patron coffee.
All right, so now Danny can talk about his Brazilian stuff.
Jesus.
There you go.
You want to explain
Come on,
what it
Kevin.
is?
I'm doing the
No,
reach.
you're coming to the
Put it
loony
in the
bin. No,
coffee
no, you
cup or-
need another one. Can't
Dude,
be
I
the
don't have
coffee
a fresh
glass.
one.
Can't be. So just grab anyone,
there
just
we
not the
go. That
coffee one.
Well, that smells like a bad
Yeah,
decision.
do not smell it. By the way, do not
Whoops.
smell it. Normally Danny serves these. Don't smell it. Actually, don't even look
That
at it.
reminds
It
me
might
of Friday.
hurt you if you look at it. Danny typically serves these in half
Alright,
coconuts.
So Joe's already talking about it.
So yeah, talk a little bit. Tell us what's going on here. What are we about to?
This is called cachaça. This is
It smells like
It's the typical
kitchen
drink.
cleaner.
Told you not to smell it.
is the typical rum from Brazil, but it's made of sugar cane.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
Yeah.
And this one came from a small town in Brazil, called Dores de Indaiá. That's in
Can you
Minas
spell that?
Gerais. That's down south.
Where you don't go there. Nobody goes there.
Nobody goes.
Nobody goes there.
But
The,
me.
the rum comes out, but nobody goes down there.
But me. I went
But
there-
Danny,
I went there a couple times, but now they just come to me.
Yeah. He called it rum, but it's actually a Long Island in a glass.
oh my God.
But it tastes like 10,000 mile used motor oil. So, cheers
does
to
it-
you boys.
Does it say on there what the proofing is?
Yeah, it says do not drink it.
Proof.
Yeah, anyone
Proof of
in
purchase.
Portuguese it says anyone dumb enough to drink this should
No, they
not
have the
leave
proof.
their
And if
seat.
anyone's listening live and wants to come pick me
90
up,
proof.
Brad's
90
address
90
is
proof.
It's
45%.
I'm telling
alcohol.
you, it tastes like Mr. Clean. I mean,
Dude.
it smells like Mr. Clean.
Oh, yeah, right.
So-
Dude.
Salud.
I guarantee
Salud.
Mr. Clean tastes
Salud.
better than this.
I'm not sure this is a good idea, but I'm going to do it.
That's crazy
Goddamn.
smooth.
How crazy is
That's crazy smooth.
that? Yeah,
That didn't burn at all. That's
Oh, yeah?
dangerous.
That
Give
tastes
him
way
another
better
one.
than kitchen cleaner.
it's very dangerous.
That is very. It tastes kind of
It's so
very
dangerous.
like
that,
fruity wine based kind of.
Me and Joe.
It tastes
when
like-
Joe comes to my house. we drink a whole bottle.
Oh
It
my
tastes like
God.
fruit,
Yeah.
fruit derived. It tastes like
And then
it tastes like the moonshine made from fruit.
Yes.
That's probably exactly the way that it's put together.
Do you taste the sugar cane?
Yeah,
Yeah, right?
it's very apparent
It has
next to
very
the Everclear.
that's.
I will say,
yeah.
when I come
No
over to
way.
Danny's
It's like
house,
Everclear
There's no
with a-
way that you can taste.
when I come
Have you
over to
ever
Danny's,
tasted Everclear?
That's what it is.
You
we
That's
use that for-
do.
it's
Caminar.
we do
Everclear
drink-
that's had a cane of sugar in there for like a week.
I mean, every time I do, I wish there were. Well, when I go to Danny's house, he's
Good.
not lying. We do drink a whole bottle of that, and then his wife and my lovely girlfriend, they do not talk to us for 3 whole days.
I feel like that's
Because
the price
probably-
you pay for
probably
Without a
the
doubt.
rum.
That's the price that they pay, not the
no-
price we pay.
Ah, touche.
Yeah, but is that a bad? Like the fact that they won't
know.
talk to you, is that bad?
That's why we do it.
Okay.
Oh,
oh my god.
Joe said that. Danny did not.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Love you,
I-
Yulia.
Well,
I drew it out. It's my fault. Sorry.
at the expense of this show going downhill quite quickly, I feel like having those shots has now put me on a clock. I feel like I'm on the ticking time bomb clock now.
Now hold on. We've been drinking from multiple
Let's take it
islands and
seriously.
continents here.
Right.
We
No
just drank
kidding.
from South America.
We just got
Brazil.
from Brazil,
We drank
Central
from
America.
from Puerto Rico, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We drank from New Amsterdam via California over
Yeah,
here,
via California, yeah, sure.
and we drank. I'm drinking from Tennessee in this right here,
Oh,
and we're also drinking
Wherever
from
they make-
Pottsville,
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Woo!
Yes, America's oldest.
Are there any continents left? What do we got? Let's get this done properly.
I think I have a bottle of sake somewhere. We can go straight to Asia.
All right. This is a transcontinental process here. I like it.
So very quickly before we jump into our shameless plugs or another song, I don't know how freaky you guys are feeling, but Puerto Rico. So yes, cruise ships.
Yes.
Took me there from Fort Lauderdale once a week for 2 years straight. Every Friday, I would roll into Old San Juan, and for a lot of the beginning part of that time, it was tourist all day. I went to Senior Frogs right off of the
Oh
pier.
no, you said
and
Singer
just
Frogs.
and just blacked out, and then woke up on the ship in another country. And then when I got tired of that, I started kind of venturing out, and like really the history of that island and how important it was for America, really, and for trade and all of those things because of its position. The forts are just
It's a very strategic location.
it was such a moving experience to walk through those forts and just really take in the energy that was left there,
Yeah.
because it was such a strategigic place to see the enemy coming and being like, okay,
I'll tell you a
send the
story
pigeon.
because so Columbus ended up in PR in 1492, right? So in 1992 was the 500th anniversary of Columbus showing up. So they did this thing called the Regatta 92, where all the tall ships in the world, these are the big wooden four-mast ships,
Right.
went from Spain across the Atlantic, then they moored in San Juan for a week, and then they went up to Boston. So they took all these high school kids, which I was at the time, one of them, and they trained us on the history of San Juan and sailing protocol and all the shit for like a year. So we would be the guides to all these sailors when they showed up in 1992. So if you want to tour San Juan, if I remember some of that shit, I give you a real
Oh
good
my
tour of San
God.
That. But there's some really, really cool stuff. If you explored it passing your frogs,
yeah, I did eventually, but that was a stop for a long time.
yeah, 'cause it's right there.
But so what really got me started on it was I would come home on vacations from my cruise ship contracts, and I would watch Travel Channel, and I would watch episodes that were, important to where I was going on my next journey, and I take notes, and I'd be like, that looks like a great place to eat, and so Cafe Racines in Old San Juan has this giant pork chop with all the pork belly.
Chuleta Cancan.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The best pork chop I've ever had in my life. And that restaurant is so in when the hurricanes came through and devastated the island, especially Old San Juan, I had to look it up. I even made a phone call to make sure that they were good. And they were.
Yeah.
They made it. But the resilience of that island is we get disconnected here in the mainland because we're just living our lives, and we have all the resources available at our disposal from the entire continent. But the resiliency of the Puerto Rican people is unbelievable. One of my best friends on earth is named Sam Allison. He's actually our Grammy award winning audio engineer, lives in Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico. We were roommates in Orlando for a long time, went to Full Sail, the whole 9 yards. And now he's relocated back there and making Grammy award-winning records. Shout out to Sam Allison.
Sam Allison.
but so I always reach out to him anytime any natural disaster happens down in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I'm always like, oh, you're good, everything good, we all good, and so far so good. But
Sauce.
Well, I will do an unsolicited local plug. If you're feeling froggy and you want a chuleta cancan,
not Senor Froggy.
not Senor Froggy, but
Get some chuleta cancan in
you want
locally
chuleta
here?
Yes, Mofongo King.
Yeah, right down the street.
Dive down the
sir.
street, man. Just go Port St. Lucie Boulevard on Bayshore. Right in there. Mofongo King is a Puerto Rican spot. Great place. We've been there a couple of times. And
Is that in the Winn-Dixie Plaza there?
Yes. It's next to the Mexican one.
Right, yeah.
Right next to that. Yeah.
On the Bayshore
No
side.
kidding.
Yeah. They do
That's,
it.
I mean,
they
you
do
know
it-
how close that is to this house?
Yes, like
Yes.
5 minutes away from me.
So there's a.
Let's go now.
You can get a mofongo with chuleta cancan.
No.
Yes. Last time.
My whole life has changed.
All right, just local plug, man.
That's so great. Mofongo King.
Mofongo King.
Let's go.
Brad, I think you buried the lead. How many pairs of your panties are hanging up on the clothesline at Carlos and Charlie's Senor Frogs? in Puerto
I don't know
Rico?
about my panties, but maybe some of the dancer girls that I worked with on the cruise ship, they might be out there. I don't wear any panties. I don't wear pants at all at
Yep.
Senor Frogs,
Cool.
which is why I don't go there anymore.
It's not required, so.
But no, it's the one thing I never got to do, and I really wanted to do it, was go and visit the Pork Highway. And I don't know if it's still a thing, but I
it's
wanted to
still
go.
a thing.
I wanted to go and
Called
eat.
It's
How did
still a
I
thing.
not know about the Pork Highway?
I would.
man.
I want to
Kevin's
go
all in.
just to go and do that. I saw it on television, obviously, and I just never made it out of town.
I highly recommend it. Go with a empty stomach.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt. I was obsessed, and
Yeah.
nobody ever wanted to do it with me. They always wanted to go
Yeah.
to Senor Frogs, and I was like, kill me. There was another place that I would go regularly called Douglas Pub,
Okay.
and it's an Irish bar in Old San Juan, and I would get so drunk there that I don't even know how I got back to the ship. More drunk than Senor Frogs. Senor Frogs is right
there,
on the
yeah.
port. So like somebody can drag you there, but you go to Douglas Pub, nobody knows that you're there. And like I have photos of me with like brown hair there. It was amazing. But no, all in all, I really genuinely was like, I love this town. I love this island. I want to move here. And I was looking into it, and it just didn't pan out. But Puerto Rico is a beautiful place, and it has the only rainforest in
US Forest Service.
the United States.
Yep.
So, and I've been watching carefully the news stories about becoming the 52nd or the 51st state, and that they're
No, no.
trying to
I
work it
wasn't
out to
gonna
get
get-
to a vote.
Guam's going to be the 51st.
I wasn't going to get political, but that ain't going to happen, man.
I know that it's tough, but it would be awesome.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Should we play another game?
Maybe.
Like, which, 50 is a good number. Which
don't know.
Which state could we get rid of to annex?
I
Puerto
say
Rico.
California.
I have thoughts.
I would like to see California
Me and this
be-
Kevin guy are going to be
we
really
will
good friends.
de-annex California, give it back to Mexico, and let's take Puerto Rico.
Can you imagine the tourism boost that would do for Mexico
Oh
if
my
they got
gosh.
California?
Could you imagine?
The only people who
Hollywood,
would be upset
Mexico.
is the people who work at the border.
Right. Now they just
Themselves
got
a
to
big
move
laugh.
north. They just
Yeah.
have to move up north.
Oh my gosh, the
Well, Oregon's
HB
lovely this time of
The
year.
people who deal with HBC paperwork would be totally disappointed, but that's
It's
okay.
you'd save the trees on pencils and the lead. But no,
But I will
I'm
say
in.
one way
I'm
or
in.
the other,
But the voters
either
won't
state
go
or
for that.
independent,
Too many.
one of the two has to happen. You know, this whole Commonwealth thing has been going on for too long, and
it's true.
it's a bullshit limbo.
Maybe
man.
we
It's
can
true.
give Alaska back to Russia. 'cause
maybe
nobody goes there.
selfishly, I
We'll give it to
I
Canada.
enjoy going there, and my cell phone works, and I
Yeah.
don't need a passport.
passport,
And,
exactly.
it is a wonderful place. Puerto Rico is a wonderful place. I don't know why you went to Iowa, but I'm glad
Hold
that
on.
you're
Wait,
here.
that's not a bad story.
Well, it is.
It was like Google before Google.
When I started college, I wanted to be a vet. There's no vet school in Puerto Rico, so I did my freshman year in Puerto Rico, and I figured if I want to get into a vet school, I better get an undergrad from a place that has a vet school. Iowa State was one of the best ones at the time, and I figured if I can get in, I'm just gonna go. So I went, and then I joined the band, and I never made it to fucking.
And the rest is history.
So the lesson is, kids. The lesson is, if you aspire to something, just Google search where they're good at it, and then you'll just become a musician.
and that's how it works.
Truth be told, as a musician, you're around more animals than a vet would be.
I mean, by definition.
Wow.
By definition.
He's on it.
Great. Yeah.
So, no pressure.
Yes.
Do you guys want to do one more song, or do you want to just play a
Yeah,
video?
let's
and we
do
can take
one
a
more.
break.
We can
We'll
do
do
one.
one
We
more.
can
Yeah, we're
we
gonna
can
do
it.
it.
We can do
We're
it.
gonna
We'll
do
do
it.
one more.
Yes.
Look at that. It's been a while since I had the power.
Wednesdays,
My boss is going to be so fucking pissed tomorrow.
So is mine.
I didn't send him the link.
Yes, absolutely. The boys are heading over to the stage. Thank you guys for hanging with us tonight. And thank you for those of you that are catching the show later on. We appreciate you as well. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Once again, this is J.J. Rivera and friends. Enjoy.
Still one in English.
You know English?
Un poquito. This one's an homage to all my fellow artists. Because it is a calling. I stood on sacred ground. Traditions, they rippled all around. And once I heard them sing, a minute, it changes everything. When did I become aware of the path that's been laid bare? If I meant to live out loud, I'll send ripples through the clouds. Just look at what we found. This magic, it rattles and shakes the ground. Their words beyond their graves, the legends send ripples through the waves. If it was the sounds that heal, I should wear them like a shield. And if I'm a rightful heir, I'll send ripples everywhere. Send a prayer to the masters who came before, left a path we can't ignore. Catch the muse while she's in flight. We must carry on the line. Do it up, Joe. If it was the sounds that heal, I should wear them like a shield. It's everywhere.
Not bad for anybody. Great stuff, fellas.
Retired. Officially again retired.
Joe Bacon retired, but still killing the game. We're going to bring the boys back. While they're making their way back here, just looking at the comments, Paul from Drums and Rubs says, anybody want to roll to Miami tomorrow night to see Deadmau5? What? That was an open invitation. My sister Ellie, who's tuning in also, said Paul is seeing Deadmau5.
Ellie Brock.
So maybe they're going.
Can we talk about how we're cheated of not being able to spend time with our friends Ellie Brock?
I know. Ellie and Derek, they were expecting you guys, but here we are.
Yeah, maybe next time. Jesus, we have to write a new album now.
Also, a very important comment from our good friend Millie Marie Taylor, who owns Shore Life Radio, a wonderful internet radio station, actually one of our partner radio stations that broadcasts our shows live on their radio. We're live on there right now, so thank you, Shore Life Radio.
Hey.
But she said, I miss seeing Fresh Catch live. EXO need their music on Shore Life Radio.
Oh,
so
shit, we found the one person.
we'll have to figure that out. And,
Stop those CDs and download them.
We'll send you a link.
Millie.
yeah.
Jose's got albums in his attic, like he said.
Yeah, get those
for
CDs.
No,
everybody.
he
Get that-
said he
Great
doesn't
Big
have any Fresh Catch albums left.
He's a liar.
I don't, man.
All right,
You
you
know you
guys.
saved at least one. for each.
Well, it's time to go around the room and tell you about all the stuff that you should be looking for out there in our segment that we lovingly call Shameless Plugs. All right. Of course, we're going to start with our special guest. We'll start with Jose.
All right.
Let us know what we need to be looking out for. What should we be expecting?
All right. So I want to give a shout out to Victoria Lee. I think she was tuned in a little earlier, but she has a booking company called Sovereign, and she's been hooking me up with these solo gigs on the Treasure Coast, and I'm very grateful for that. I was kind of the substitute teacher these last couple of months, and now I'm getting on some rotations. So thank you, Victoria. April 1st, I'm going to be at Cork in Hope Sounds.
Love that place. Great spot.
April 8th, I'm going to be at Isla Murata Brewing Company in Fort Pierce. April 14th, I'm back at Cork solo. These are old solo things. Then on April 15th, and I got the green light that I can announce this, Fresh Catch is going to be playing at Ocean Republic. I believe they have some anniversary type party.
Oh,
The parking lot with the station, all that.
Ocean Republic, that's the brewery in Stewart, right?
Correct. The
Yeah.
same plaza where the bowling alley is.
Yes.
Used to be the Stale House.
Yeah, and with the blue margaritas or whatever, the blue Long Islands or whatever their crazy tanked Tuesday night was.
And then
I don't remember those.
I don't. And then on May 7th, Fresh Catch is at the Tuckahoe Mansion for what was it called, Kevin?
Music at the mansion.
Music
at the mansion. And some shamelessly plugging. I'm going to take the opportunity. My wife and I own the local business called the Bubble Truck.
Boom.
Bubble Truck.
Bubble Truck.
Bubble Truck.
We do mobile foam parties. This is for kids' birthdays, but we also do adult parties with some glow. We have the foam machines attached to a truck. We show up at your driveway, pump some music, pump some foam.
What is
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
We had
Not
no
just for
idea
kids.
there was a mobile
Not
foam
just for
truck.
kids. It's actually parked right out front.
It's parked
And
right
after
out
the
front.
show, we're about to go have a foam party. It's gonna be fucking dope.
I hope
and
that's
then you can endorse
true.
the bubble truck.
I've
moving
got a bunch of
forward.
tarps in the car. We can lay them out on the lawn.
Oh, we don't need no tarps. But these are eco-friendly bubbles.
So you can look up bubbletruck.com, and if you want to book
simple?
you want to book one of our shows, look up for the Treasure Coast. That's one of the links off of the main webpage, bubbletruck.com. We'll come to you and have a phone party.
Right. And when
I
you
feel
book
like
it,
this is a jams and cocktails like theme episode.
Is this a necessity in the future?
Okay.
guys,
It will
he
be.
forgot to say, when you book a bubble truck for an extra $150, Fresh Catch will come play the show for your bubble party.
Oh my!
So you'll
$150
get
is all
Jose, Danny, and all the guys. They'll come personally and spend time with you and play a show if you book Bubble Truck right now in the next 10 minutes at Bubble Truck Treasure Coast. Jordyn.com. Is that it?
Jordyn, are you listening? I hope
Hey,
you're booking
Jordyn.
right now.
Jordyn, this one's for you.
But wait, there's more.
But wait,
That's great. That's
And
so
honestly,
cool.
if you tip an extra $100,
Joe went off script.
Danny will do it with his shirt off. So for all the ladies watching,
And for an extra 50, Joe will do cartwheels.
I won't be there.
There you go.
You got to come out of retirement at least for cartwheels, man.
Bro, do you think should we you have like 87 cameras in here? This might be the perfect place to prove once and for all I cannot do a cartwheel. Maybe after the show.
Have some more of that. Pink
That's
with
for
me.
the Patreon pay-per-view.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go
Yeah,
for
that's
those
the After
people.
Dark.
It's the After Dark.
Where's
That's
our,
killer.
Where's
So-
our true fans?
Bubbletruck.com.
Bubbletruck.com.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, Bubble Truck Treasure Coast. They take care of all your bubble needs.
Some of your bubble needs.
Anything else to plug?
Yeah, I'll plug some shit.
Well,
Plug,
I mean,
Joe, plug away,
for-
man. This is what I had it in the paper. Joe, I had it on the paper.
Yeah,
Is there
I
anything
actually
left on the paper?
No, I got through all of it.
I actually have nothing to plug except I want to touch on something that Brad said earlier, and I will keep this brief, but we are lucky enough to be in an area where musicians take care of musicians, and we're a great community. So if you have a chance to go out and support local music, please do that. It is important for the musicians, it's important for your soul, and it's important for the community to continue to grow, because I will tell you, this area has a plethora of people that have kind, giving souls that only want support for the other people that have kind, giving souls that play the music for you every fucking night. Get out there and go see
100%.
them. Go see Brad Brock. Go see Fresh Catch. Go see Danny doing solo shit on the sidewalk in Port St. Lucie. All of us need your help. We all need your support. And yes, and I would also like to promote jnclive.tv for all your listening needs. I would also like to
take
promote
all those little claps.
I would also like to promote the Jordyn Files, which you will certainly hear next week.
Yes.
And I'd like to take this time to thank my two brothers for letting me be here, as well as you two gentlemen for having us. This was a blast. Thank you so much. So much fun. And, what a fucking wild Wednesday.
I'm going to have a mulligan when y'all are done plugging.
Perfect. Good. What about you, Danny? Anything to plug shamelessly?
Man, I want to plug the bubble truck.
Right on, man.
Yeah, I really want to plug.
Buy
that,
some
'cause
bubbles, people.
I have a daughter, she's 8 years old, and she'll love that, and I think.
You'll get the bro discount, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good. You get the
Danny
bro
just-
discount.
The plug
Bro
and
discount.
discount in
The bro
one
discount
segment.
is 10% above.
Yeah.
Because I have to deal with you.
That's right. No. It's 10% above because they add the keg
No,
to the
but
bubble
for
truck.
Oh, and Fresh Catch.
For sure.
Well,
yeah.
don't
I
push
love
your
all
luck.
these additions.
Don't
These
push your
are
luck.
these are great add-ons, upsales.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that's about it. Besides, I'm playing Amsterdam next week, and
Oh,
then
not
I'll
a
do
big deal.
England, the other week, and
Jesus.
Russia.
We never even touched an El Nino.
And then
Yeah. So
it's
Danny
not
has
going
this
there.
Yeah,
secret
this is
career.
the time. Let's
Going
talk about
there.
El
Yeah,
Nino.
Danny has a
Not
secret
going
career
there.
as an international rock star. It's not a big deal.
Wait, are you really playing those places? Or are you just being ridiculous?
No, I'm not.
No. Wink, wink. He's
Well, yeah.
not.
Oh, okay, we're
But he has.
Yes, he is.
But he has.
Super wink, wink.
That's amazing.
He's not.
El Nino.
Wait, maybe he's not.
I'm not.
Maybe I have to tap you and get
we're gonna
El
have
Nino
to
in
do a
here.
different show for
Yo,
that.
bro,
I
you,
love
Rums and rums.
Yeah,
Rums and rums.
you know how to pull up 30-year-old
Let's do a different-
artifacts from the internet. Pull up
That's what
some
I do.
shit on Danny. We'll be
I'm-
back next week.
I'm basically in Indiana Jones, Internet Jones.
Oh, but we named the dog Indiana.
What about
Let's keep it local.
Okay. What about you, Kev? Any shameless plugs for you,
I do.
pal?
I've got a few shameless plugs.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna
Kevin,
be-
who was like, I'm going to be a phantom tonight.
Yep, I don't want
Phantom
anyone
of the
to know.
whorehouse. That's what
Kevin's
we
a
called
star.
it. didn't
Plug
we?
away, brother. Plug.
Kevin is a star.
No, I am just the guy that's talking right now. And I'm going to be playing solo at the Pirates Cove on Friday from 2 to 5.
Cool.
So if you want to, drink a lot with some sailors, that's the best place to go. And then Saturday, The Kevin McLoughlin band is playing at the Hoffman, a great, German restaurant.
How
If
good
you
is
want to
the
have
food
some,
there?
the food is
Pretty good.
That was so amazing.
I'm
right?
telling you, like when I was a
I
kid,
ate
like
there
we
all the
lived
time.
down the
It
street
just
from
pops
some
up.
Germans, and they could make some homemade German food that would just like blow your mind.
Yeah.
This is on par with that.
Pretty good.
Absolutely.
And they got it's the only place where they got like Bitburger and some real German beer. Kick
Fish
your
and
shoes
chips.
off. No, that's English.
You're right on the river.
Yeah,
It's
kick your shoes off
perfect.
and dance in the sand.
Right.
The Kevin
That's a cool spot.
McLoughlin band
Come listen
is
to
going to be
Kevin.
playing
That place
all
came
night.
out of nowhere.
Get some German food.
That's
Come listen to
right.
Kevin. What do you have to do this?
And then you got nothing else to
What
do.
happened to your microphone?
Get over it. His mic's not.
Mine?
It's not working.
Did we break
It's
it?
not
no,
on.
I wouldn't be surprised if you
Broke.
turned my shit off.
He
What?
got that.
His mic's not on.
Who knows?
I got
Who knows
broken
what's
shit.
going
Color
on?
commentary.
Yeah, no,
He's-
I
he's
can tell
currently-
you, Brad Rock, this is not the first time my microphone's been turned off.
He's currently the. Oh, there it
I
is.
found
He was trying to be the John Madden of the Kevin McLoughlin.
Yeah, I rode here in the big bus.
And now we got him back on. So
He's got that fro
This is
going
fun for
into
me.
the mic, and that's why.
that's
not
it. It's
working.
all that beard is covering the sound.
What else you got, Kev?
And then Sunday is the War Memorial Ride. If you get on your bikes and ride, if you ride a Harley or any kind of motorcycle, go to Treasure Coast Harley Davidson on Sunday morning. It's going to be a huge ride. We're raising money to put a war memorial for Iraq and Afghanistan. I've been drinking from 3 continents. Can't talk.
I know. Join the club, pal. I got to end this
No,
thing.
that sounds like a
My only
great
hope is
cause.
a drink. I got to get back to America here with some Tennessee.
Great cause for that one.
No, they're going to be doing some sort of war memorial for Iraq and Afghanistan veterans here in Port St. Lucie. We're going to be raising money for that, and then the Kevin McLoughlin band has they're like we're like 80%, 90%, 50, 20%, 100% sure we're going to be going on tour this summer.
Nice.
To play, and the core of the tour, the destination, the turning point of the tour is 6 shows at the Sturgis Bike Rally in South Dakota.
What?
Oh, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
casually
Six
going to
nights.
Sturgis.
Listen, Sturgis is amazing.
So all I need is everything to make that happen.
Hey, GoFundMe has just now been set up for Kevin McLoughlin and the Kevin McLoughlin Band.
Yeah,
if
no
you want
joke.
to donate to his
No, whatever.
Sturgis,
Oh, blast.
check the link in the bio. Make sure you go to Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you get this podcast. Check the link in the bio. You will have the GoFundMe
I'll
for
put it
Kevin
in there.
McLoughlin
We should
Band.
do that.
Because we're going to Sturgis, baby. It's all of
Yeah.
us here in South Florida are going
We
with
are.
Kevin.
We're creating
Yeah.
a giant caravan, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna book some shows on the way up, and then we're gonna book some shows. We're gonna play 6 shows in Sturgis, and we're gonna book a few shows on the way back.
Stop in the morning.
Yeah, go to Des Moines,
I need
Bob.
to get some.
Des Moines.
I
Yeah.
need to get some info on the
Name
Des
drop
Moines
Great Big
venues
Freak,
there, 'cause
and I
that's
think
right
you'll
on
be
the
in good
way.
shape.
Yeah, so we're gonna create debauchery across multiple states with no conscience. We're gonna be bringing some intergalactic, multicultural liquor with us, and we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, Kevin. Let's go.
I feel so jacked up. I'm like ready.
Sturgis to Florida.
That's right.
Awesome. All right. Well, I don't have any shameless plugs that are that exciting, but most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be nice of you to do. Check out Shore Life Radio. Millie Marie tuning in tonight. Thank you for that. And thanks for hosting this show on Wednesday nights on Shore Life Radio. Check it out, Shore Life Radio on the TuneIn app, a great radio app. And, of course, on their website, shoreliferadio.com. Check out Jams and Cocktails live on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. So happy to have you guys here. We have guests. We play games. We do tricks with our candlesticks and everything else under the sun there. All good time. Jams and Cocktails is my show, but Drums and Rums is Paul's show.
Paul, get Danny, Paul.
Danny, go to Drums and Rums.
Yes.
Danny, get Paul, Danny.
We're working
Let's
on it for you,
do
Paul.
Danny plays a mean cajon. I mic'd it up.
That's
I
right.
can tell you for sure.
Let's do it.
So check out the Drums and Rums podcast, everything drums and rums and all the things in between. Also check out Paul's biggest happy hour and a half hour on Thursday nights. It's his live stream, 8 p.m. on Thursdays, but he drops podcasts on Tuesdays. And great stuff. And thank you, Paul, for tuning in tonight. Shout out to our partners and sponsors at Code Rum, Hop Life Brewing, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, the Bug Juice, bug repellent, and skincare products. You can see how beautiful my face is. That's from the Bug Juice. Chesser. Thank you, Kevin. Chesser Custom Designs, laser etching and engraving. BradBrockDesign.com for all your graphic design needs. If you've ever thought about living on a sailboat, and who hasn't, you got to read through my good friends Brett and Kim's blog, learntoliveaboard.com. They've been on their boat for 15 years sailing around the world. They know what's up, and they have a great blog to tell you about it, the good, bad, and the ugly. Read that first before you buy the boat. Also, if you're looking to further your education, consider an MBA program earned completely online from the Academy of Mid-Florida. You can get more info on their website, academyofmidflorida.com. My good friend Sal is streamlining or headlining that operation. So check it out. Also, check out our good friends at the 561 Music Podcast. Their 561 Music Festival 2 is happening April 1st. And that's kicking off at 12 p.m. at Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth. 20 bands for $10. You can't beat it.
Wow. Are you kidding me? When have you ever got that value?
50 cents a band.
It's 50 cents a band.
You can't get that value at Aldi. Okay, that is the ultimate. If you like live music and you're not going to that show, what are you doing?
Keep us in mind for next year.
Yes.
Aldi doesn't even have a band aisle.
Are you sure? You been there today?
No, not today.
Not today.
Can I get a band aisle? I can't wait. I'm going back.
But yeah, it's going to be a great show. Last year was off the chain, and so this year is going to be even better, I'm sure. So check that out. And check out their podcast as well, 561 Music Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I have a show tomorrow night, believe it or not. That's unexpected for me.
Oh, wait, well, hold on. Let's back up. We need a little more ceremony with this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I have some reverb?
Oh, right.
Make that shit dripping wet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mr. Brad Brock.
Yes, sir.
Will now be doing his shameless plugs.
So I'll be playing a show at Manatee Island at Fort Pierce, 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Thank you, Kevin. That was wonderful. I'll be doing that show there. Great happy hour show. Not a long time for me to get drunk, so it's probably going to be a good show. But you can see all the places I'm playing at bradbrock.com.
Bradbrock.com.
And if you bradbrock.com.
Bradbrock.com.
Not cockfishing, Brad Brock cockfishing.
That's what we call a callback,
That's
folks.
another website. And if you love what we do and you want to support us financially, which is always wonderful, you can go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JNC podcast, and subscribe. It's $5 a month.
Yeah, you can see. You can pay extra to see Brad without his pants on.
No, that's a different website
for real?
too.
Oh wait, I'm sorry.
Onlybrad.com.
Onlybrands.com.
Wait, no, it's Jordan without her pants on.
Oh.
I'll kill you.
No.
I'll kill
Okay,
all of you.
sorry.
It
No,
got
I'm just
weird.
kidding. No, that's not it. Sorry.
No, that's
See
it.
you folks next week.
That's it. That's the shameless plug.
Can I do a mulligan real quick? No.
Jose's never played golf, but he has a mulligan.
Of course you could do a mulligan. You're the guest of honor.
All right. There's some musicians you need to check out.
Put it up to the camera.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. These are great musicians.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you see it there? All right.
Yes. Sandman Sleeps. Victoria Lee, of course. Songs that Jeff likes. Jeff Farshedian. We love him. Killbillies and Live Music Community in Jupiter. Yes. All wonderful.
I ran out of
Let's go,
space, but
folks.
I love all of these. For sure.
Every single one of these people, with the exception of Live Music Community, are alumni of our podcast.
Right.
We love them. We love them.
Put them all on a playlist on your Spotify or Apple Music. Put it on mute and listen to it while you sleep. Get us some streams. We all appreciate you. And one more time, shameless plug for the JNC podcast. This was such a blast, dude. Thank you for having us. It's a little off the rails. This camera's not supposed to be on me, but since it's here, thank you to Brad. Thank you to everyone that makes this happen.
Callback.
Mr. Kevin, thank you for
Mofongo
being
King,
here.
That's right.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Chuleta Kangkang.
The fuck you, King.
My fun kong.
All right, you guys. Well, with that being said, we're going to knock it off. Thank you all so much for tuning
Thank
in
you.
live
Thank
with
you
us
for having
tonight.
us, man.
For having us.
Thank
We
you
love you,
guys for
Jordyn.
being here. Yes. Give it up. J.J. Rivera, Joe Bagan, Danny, Couto. Right? I get it.
Yeah,
Couto.
you're close enough. Vegan and Couto, it's all right. It's all right.
Vegan.
Vegan?
Vegan.
Bacon.
Vegan,
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't
when
matter.
you don't-
Nobody's going to remember me.
Joe
But
Began
Vegan
and
is when
Danny
you only eat
Couto.
plants and bacon.
that's perfect.
Couto?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'll get it. I'll get
What
it
are
one
you,
of these days.
Portuguese? Look at this guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. But until we're going to catch you guys next week, we have a great shot of the week. Joe Began.
Vegan?
Began. God damn it.
It's okay.
Sorry.
I sound like I've known you for,
it's when you
for
only eat
3.5 years.
Vegan
It
is
was-
when you only eat plants and bacon.
Yeah.
This
Vegan.
motherfucker. Hey, can
Vegan.
we get this on camera? I want to give Kevin the biggest hug ever. That was the best. That was the best.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love this guy.
I'll get it on camera.
Yeah,
No-
yeah, yeah. We'll do this. This
so
for your Patreon listeners.
Shot of the week. Tell me again what it's.
I think
the
it's called like the
tea.
Florida tea or the Florida green tea. You're
Florida
gonna
green tea.
see in next week. I'm gonna tell Brad what it's about off camera, so all of our listeners will be surprised next week. But
It's gonna be
you're
so
gonna
good.
have your minds blown, and our local liquor stores are gonna be super happy to see Brad again. It's gonna be perfect.
They're super happy to see me every.
Yeah, it's a first name basis
single
for Brad
day.
Brock.
I'm in there all the time. They're like, "Oh, you again?" Yes,
You again?
it's me again. All right, you guys. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other out there. Be kind. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge. I'm Brad Brock, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye for now.
Thank you.
I'm amazed. I've lived this long, lived a life this way. Oh, don't you know? When the song is done, it's time to go. When the song is done, it's time to go. She got a heart of gold and an angel smile. I got this whole guitar and a soul band's wild. She loves me more than she loved me then. I'm not sure I'll be back again. Oh, I'm amazed. I've lived this long, living life this way. Oh, don't you know? When the song is done, it's time to go.